I am late to this review, but I wanted to see this movie. I wanted to see it. I'm a huge Jason Statham fan, so I wanted to see how The Working Man would do. I'm late to it because I just moved to my new place, so a lot of more important things had to happen. But took the time today, was my day off. I went to go see the movie Working Man, and I said it before when I was talking about this movie when I did a reaction to it. You know what you're getting into watching a Jason Statham movie, and I love it. It's simple, straight to the point. You know what Jason Statham going to offer. Nothing new really happens outside of the story, but the overall factor of a Jason Statham action movie is here, and I love it. And I'm gonna tell you this: Jason Statham don't change. I respect a man who sees what works, even if it's the same thing, and just rides it out. Jason Statham does that. Every now and then you see him in a different kind of movie. It's very rare. Like, I forgot what was that movie with Melissa McCarthy. I forgot what that was called. A little bit of more of a comedic feel, but still, he is exactly what he always, for the most part, been showing. And I love it. The Working Man was enjoyable. Was it Academy Award? No. But was it entertaining? Popcorn, all that other stuff, a good time at the movies? Yes. But there is something I want to do. I want to also, and I don't usually do this with his movies, because it doesn't really stick out. I want to give credit to other people that was in this movie too that actually, in my opinion, stuck out. Hold on, where's my phone? Yeah, I want to make sure I give these three people credit. But first, just a quick rundown if you haven't seen the trailer. A Working Man is a story of a retired vet who had a hard life in the army, but is now starting a new one. Even though the new life is a little tough, but he's starting a new life as a construction worker, a leader in a construction business, I'll put it that way, that's ran by Michael Pena. And he created a bond with Michael Pena's family, which is his daughter, or his wife and daughter. And they become a small family. Jason Statham and Michael Pena's daughter have this friendship. And due to her seeing him in action, I'll just keep it at that without spoiling too much, she also learned a little bit about his past. And also they made an agreement that, hey, and she asked him, you have my back? I won't say anything about, what you could do. He agreed. And lo and behold, like the trailer shows, she goes to a party and she gets abducted. It's kind of like Taken, a little different, but for the most part with the bad guy. Villain sees cute woman, wants to take her and put her in this trade. I always rolls my eyes when I see that because that's a nasty business to be in. But I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, takes her. Now Michael Pena, the father, is asking Jason Statham, can you help us? Because he knows about Jason Statham's past. Even though Jason Statham is trying to live this new life, Michael Pena knows of his past. He just didn't say anything. And due to the friendship that Jason Statham and this girl had, he goes and beat Jason Statham to go and work on saving the girl, with his action, meeting friends along the way, interrogation, all that stuff, and it just becomes a simple Jason Statham movie. Now, I gave the premise of the story, but it's put in simple Jason Statham action movie terms. Let me just put it that way. But now we got that out the way, I want to give credit to these three people that was in The Working Man. I want to give credit to, I've never seen these people. Well, I've seen one of them, but I want to give credit to Jenny Garcia. She played the girl who got captured. I want to give credit to her because she gave a different feel of a woman being captured by these villains. She was no pushover. Her attitude towards them. She wasn't just a hopeless girl just sitting there, just save me, No, her attitude towards them. Tiny spoiler, this is not going to mess up the story. So I give this one. There was a moment where one of the people who wanted to do what they, those nasty people wanted to do to the girls, she bit his whole face, his left side of his face off, and literally, and she was tough, and I loved her attitude. It wasn't cringe or nothing like that. Like, they didn't overwrite her. They didn't overwrite her in the fact where she just kept saying these, too tough, cringy lines. But she definitely lived up to, okay, look, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do to me, you're gonna have to fight to get it. Wait, something on my face. But yeah, she had that attitude like, look, if I'm gonna go out, I'm going out swinging, and she did it right. So I want to give her that attitude. Her and then the chemistry of the few scenes that, excuse me, her and Jason Statham had was very believable. So shout out to Jenny. What was her last name again? Jenny Garcia. Hope the best for you in your acting career. Where is? Oh, here we go. Jason Statham's daughter. Her name is Mary Cade. I believed that was his daughter in real life. Like the chemistry between them two was done well. Usually when it comes to stuff like that, a father and a daughter, that's not really the main story. It's just something of a side plot. Usually those don't mend well. It depends on what actor and actress they put it together. But in a movie like this, you don't really pay attention to it. It's like, oh, a father and his daughter, they're working on their relationship, so on and so forth. But no, the chemistry between Mary Kate and Jason Statham was good, and the writing between them two was good. I loved the best part about the daughter was how she rolled for her dad. Like she had his back. No matter the stuff that Jason Statham was going through, Mary Kate had his back. I loved how his daughter was written. So shout out to the writers for both Jenny Garcia and Mary Kate because their roles in this movie, it was short. Like I'm not saying like these roles were huge in the whole movie. No, but when they was there, it was impactful. You could tell that Mary Kate loved her dad or loved her dad, and she had his back. And yeah, she trusted him. Like it was something small, but I caught it, and I liked that. I was like, man, I want my daughter to have my back like that. So yeah, shout out to and also as an actor that we all know that, but I also want to give credit for is David Harbour. He had a small role, but it was enough. It was enough. He played an army friend of Jason Statham. He was blind, like the trailer showed. And the little bit he was in, I liked it. At first I was like, he's not in it that much. But then the little scenes he was in, I was like, well, those moments mattered and it fit. I will say this, though. I forget how big David Harbour is. Wait, how big is this dude? Oh yeah, 6'3". But there was a moment, and I don't even think they did that on purpose, but there was a moment that him and Jason Statham was sitting at a table eating food, and David grabs Jason Statham's arm, and it was like, bro, it was like just that alone, it looked like Jason Statham was getting, like, how should I say it? Not manhandled, but you could tell, like, it was a scene where, like, when he did that, Jason Statham went, and I'm pretty sure if there was a behind the scenes, Jason Statham was probably like, dang, I forgot, like, that was a man grip. Like, the way he grabbed it was like a father grabbing his son. And it was like, it just showed how big David Harbour was. I was like, dang. And it was something that had nothing to do with that, what I'm saying. It was just them having dinner. And he told Jason Statham, it's good to see you, brother. That's all he said. But how it looked, bam. He grabbed his. I was like, dang, it was. How big is Jason Statham? Oh, he's 5'10", 170. I ain't gonna front. That little scene, it was a small scene, but you have to catch. He went, boom, glad to see you, brother. I was like, wait a minute. That was a man grip, like right on Jason Statham's arm. And I was like, damn, I forget how big David Harbour is, but 6'3" and whatever he weighs. But that was something just small, little extra. But no, overall, good movie. Like I said, is it an Academy Award? No, but that's not what I go in to watch Jason Statham movies for. The action was good. I like his interrogation scenes. He don't cut corners with his violence. You know, it literally is The Beekeeper. I don't know if you've seen The Beekeeper. That was another movie I enjoyed. It came out last year, right? Or the year before. Last year, the beginning of last year. It literally felt like a Beekeeper movie, just a different story. But the approach to his interrogation, his action, like I said, is a simple, to the point, you know it, Jason Statham movie. It does well. I love those kind. And I hope he keeps going until he's just ready to retire. I respect that Jason Statham's like, look, I ain't trying to get overcomplicated here. I know where I'm good at. I love what I do. And I'm going to keep, the fans love it. I'm going to keep giving it to them. Please. Because you got a fan here. And I heard it's doing numbers. I was late to seeing this movie, so I was able to hear the box office. I heard it did well at the box office. So good. That means hopefully more stories. Oh, and I found out that Sylvester Stallone produced it. Obviously with some other people. Jason Statham produced it too, but it was I realized that Stallone produced it. He also did something else. I think it was a screenplay or something, but just to know Stallone was behind it, I thought that was cool. A legend in himself as well. But yeah. It's a good time at the movies. The action was on point. Oh, there was one thing I thought was weird, and I just was like, huh? It was I guess you call it a dislike in the movie. It wasn't a big deal for me not to see the movie, but it was still like, huh? Was the villains? The villains, you did not know who the big dog was till like late, like much later. The movie made it set up as if this certain person was the main villain. Then like 5 minutes later, you find out, oh wait, oh this guy's the main villain. Oh wait, no, he's the main villain. Okay, yeah, this is the main villain right here. Wait, this other guy's sonning the guy who I thought was the main villain. Okay, so he's the main villain. Okay, finally he's the main villain. That's how the movie was. It was like, okay, who's the big dog here? And it wasn't like they was doing it to be a mystery. It was just like, I guess the movie didn't even know itself who the main villain was until it was like someone was written in later in the script. Nah, he's not too threatening. Let's write this guy. You could tell they was trying to, every person they showed, they was trying to up the other one. And it was like, I guess the writers didn't know how to make that main villain. It was just something I caught as well, but it wasn't that much of a big deal. But yeah, they did well. The action, the gunplay was nice. And I know some people complain that they don't like that Jason Statham doesn't get beat down. I love that. There are some movies I like when I see a hero just obliterate his opponent. Now, did Jason Statham get hit a few times? Sure. But I like the fact he doesn't be crawling on the floor, barely making it. Like, there's some people that I just don't want to see that kind of reaction with. And Jason Statham's one of them. I want to see him like how Jet Li and these certain guys are. I like to see him beat him down, no matter who the opponent is. 20 versus 1. I want to see Jason Statham get out of it, barely bruised. That's just me. It is like that kind of movie where he's going in and coming out, the only one coming out. But I like that. So I didn't have a problem with that. And like I say, if you go to Jason Statham movies, that's what you're going to get. My favorite Jason Statham movie is Safe. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That was the best one. But I like those situations. But anyway, overall, really good movie. And I wanted to give that shout out to the cast. That was one thing I wanted to do, was to give credit to those other three, because in Jason Statham movies, I barely do that. We just see another person outside of Jason Statham that actually stuck out. And those three, in my opinion, stuck out. It's always disgusting feeling to me seeing these kind of villains that like Taken, where these sex trade and all that stuff. And I'm glad. I mean, obviously they're villains, and I know they're villains. It disgusts me, not in the fact of not wanting to see the movie, but just knowing that there's some weirdos out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be saying a prayer for those who are captured and all that stuff, and hopefully nobody else gets captured anymore. These people get stopped. Yes, it's an action movie, but when you look at these villains, it's like, this stuff happens for real. When I saw Taken, I was like, dang, the action is really good, but the sad part is there are actually criminals like this out here. It's crazy. But no, let me go back to the movie. The movie was good, definitely worth price of admission. Please go see it. I want to see more of these Jason Statham movies. I want to see more. There are some people I want to see OP in action movies, and he's one of them. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, this review was late, but it's all good. Let me know in the comment section if you saw how you felt about it. Was it the best one of his? No. Like I said, the best I've seen of him is Safe. I love Safe. I could watch that. I could rewatch that. I will put this and Beekeeper up at the same. No. Actually, I like this better than Beekeeper because of the other cast. It felt like the movie was good not just because of Jason Statham. I felt that way in Beekeeper. I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it, but it wasn't. In my opinion, nobody really stuck out in that one outside of him. Not that it was bad in the role, but like in this movie, I unintentionally was impressed by the daughter, the woman being captured, and by David. But yeah, so I would say this one is better than Beekeeper. But action-wise, they're both the same, and it's amazing. I love it. I hope for more of these. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll see you later.